Hi, I'm Stephanie from We Love Soaps. I'm talking to Gina Tognoni. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so Gina plays Sami on Venice. Tell us about her.
Did you see I almost tried to grab this out of your hand?
Yeah.
Sami. Well, my good friend Crystal Chappelle asked me to be a part of this, and I said absolutely. And she and the writer Kim put together a great character by the name of Sami. And Sami is Owen's love interest. Owen is Gina's brother. Gina is played by Crystal. And it's a really beautiful pilot. It's really, what happens is that Sami and Owen meet for the first time on a first date on a hiking path. And their aunts put them together. She is from the United States, but she did a lot of work in Africa with the Peace Corps and also worked in an AIDS vaccination center. So she's very much about healing and giving, and she comes to LA. She has moved there, lived there about a month, and meets Owen. Well, then she goes on to meet Owen's sister, who's Gina, and they immediately have some friction, Gina and Sami, because I think that Gina finds herself threatened a bit by the closeness that Owen and Sami have immediately. And the closeness is that, you know, Sami likes Owen. She likes being around him, and Owen likes being around her. But it's not like a premeditated relationship. It just is. And I think this challenges Gina for a bit. And I love the idea about that. I love that. So really, you know, Sami's here to give, not necessarily take anything. And this challenges Gina in some way. So I like that.
That's great.
Yeah. It's so weird to, like, refer to somebody by my own name, because my brain has to... Anyway.
Is it me or her?
Me or her.
Now, I know the role of Owen. I know that role of Owen has gone through several cast changes. It is now played by Galen Gehring.
Which in no way, you know, poor Galen. He's like, yeah, what am I, like, fifth pick? I think it started with Tommy Pelfrey, Danny Cosgrove, Jeff Branson, and now Galen, which, you know, it's so funny how things work out. Galen is phenomenal. What a sweet soul. I have never worked with him before. He met Crystal, obviously, through Days. Just a generous, funny, light soul, and it was perfect. So these type of things are really kind of neat because they find their way. But I think Crystal's going to try to get Jeff back next season. So that's very cool, yeah. Yeah, and maybe Danny and maybe Tom, so... Everybody. We're all very supportive of this, you know, so we're really happy that she's putting this together.
How is working on a web series different than working on the shows you've done?
That's a good question. Actually, we have an AD on Venice who was with Guiding Light. Kristen Doherty, who is just a love, and she is so good at what she does. And she was with us in the final days of Guiding Light, where we did a lot of work in Peapack, New Jersey. We did a lot of handheld cameras, outdoor shots. About 60% of the show was outside, so it's really not that different at all. And I'm working with Crystal, and you know, so it's like and Jessica, Lucia, and we feel like we're kind of back home in a way. And I really feel that Crystal has taken something that, you know, she's good at and really put together sort of the next generation of storytelling, which was for the web. And that is also one of the large reasons why I'm here, because I'm really supporting the way and the venue of this project.
Now, what do you have in common with Sami? What's similar to you?
We both, well, I wanted to be in the Peace Corps for 5 minutes. We both been to Africa. I think that, you know, I'm a giver. I'm all about, you know, heal your way through this lifetime. I really am. That seems to be very similar. I think that Sami has an incredible past. She has a past that includes a lot of loss. Thank goodness that I don't have that as much, but yet I think it makes Sami very rich because of that. And that's a subject matter that I love and embrace, sort of what people go through that makes them who they are presently. So I think that's sort of something we have in common.
Now, I know your character, Dinah, left Guiding Light before the end of the show. And I know some fans...
It's like such...
Yeah, I know. I have to ask a question. I know some fans were, you know, oh, hey, you left. What do you have to say about that, to calm the waters?
I love that anybody cares that I left anywhere early. Thank you. I love that. But I found it so interesting. I'm like, really? They care? Awesome. It's really not as glamorous as I wish it could be, but it's not. My contract ended. That's pretty much it, everybody. My contract ended. And unfortunately, as far as timing, it was about 4 weeks before everybody else, maybe 4 to 6 weeks before everybody else had to say goodbye. It really was a timing thing, and the writers felt, well, all right, this is one of our first exit storylines. Let's start with Gina or Dinah. And I said, sure, I know that you're going to eventually have to cross this bridge with everybody, and I just happened to be the first number up. It was hard, I've been saying goodbye. I still am. We just recently did a fan event in Pittsburgh, and I'll be going to Atlanta and Vegas. We have a farewell, so long to Springfield tour that's going on that people can come and see us in Vegas and Atlanta by the end of the year. So just go on your internets and look for So Long Springfield, and maybe you can come say goodbye to us.
And I know Kelly is returning to One Life to Live. Tell us, if you can, a few hints about where her character is going. What can we expect to see?
Well, some fireworks, that's for sure. I start in January, and, I'm coming back as Kelly. I was the first Kelly, and I think what really drives my excitement is that I get to come back as a woman. I left as a young woman, possibly girl. And to bring her back sort of with the past that she has, and the writers, that'll be up to the writers, which I'm sure will be very creative. I love that. And it'll be in a way kind of going back home and yet making a new home, because they are moving studios. I'd love that they're transitioning into a different space. I think that's hugely important creatively. And I think that it gives new energy. I know that Frank Valentini is really doing an incredible job over there, and ABC is supportive of this show. And I'm ready. By January, I will be well rested. Trust me.
What do you want to see happen to Kelly? Love interest, adventure, what do you want to play?
Well, I love working, so I want to see her evolve. But I want to see her share her knowledge and her power. One thing that I really love to see on daytime is women who are not afraid of their own power. I just think that is a great thing to share. It was one thing that I learned from Dinah, and she's going to be a little powerhouse. And I love playing that. I love giving that vibe out to the universe.
Fantastic. And last question, are you big on the web? Do you Twitter? Do you Facebook? Do you MySpace? Or is this your first big venture into the web world?
It's a huge venture. I just got on Twitter yesterday, and I swore I wouldn't, but now I am. I have 200 friends immediately, which I'm kind of liking. I just recently went on Facebook, and I am building, hopefully, a website very soon. So I'm starting to do the research on that. I have not ever done that. I have never had a website, and yet I've had friends, and I'm grateful for that. But this is, for me now, it's a way for me to reach them. It's a way for me to talk to them. And I love that idea. So, yes, I've been doing it slowly, but as long as I know I'm not going to have 6,000 people at my front door, then I'm okay. And that way we can talk, on the internet. So, I think it's very cool.
And if
they can find me under Gina Tognoni. Yeah, no code name.
That's good. Thank you so much, Gina, for talking to us today.